Hi, it's Suzanne, the Study Coach, and welcome to Wednesday Webinar Live. It's the end of June. I can't believe where the time has gone to. So in this session, I really wanted to think about how your studies and reflect on how the year had developed. So what I thought would be really lovely to do is today just think of 3 really inspirational quotes and think about that in the context of what's happening. I know that lots of students have finished their exams. Some people have had exam results and are really pleased. Some people are still waiting for exam results and are very apprehensive. And other people, perhaps if they're coming up to resits because they took exams last year, they are getting to that stage where they're getting back into study and thinking about revision and maybe resit exams in July or August. So whatever stage you are at, I think it's going to be interesting just to have a little bit of pause and reflection. So I'd like to start the session with the first quote. This is an unknown quote, and I really feel that it talks a lot about what the plan is now and in the future. So I'm just going to give you the quote and we'll take it from there. So the quote begins, "Don't let where you are get in the way of what you might become." And that's an unknown quotation. Don't let where you are get in the way of what you might become. I think so often people focus on what's happening now. Have I passed this exam? Have I failed this exam? It's all about the here and now. And really, the important thing is to not really get hung up on what you're doing today and what the results are today, but where the end project is. What is the goal that you want to achieve? Keep focusing on that goal. And, in life, there's always going to be little setbacks. Sometimes there's really great surprises, but sometimes there are unexpected things that happen and setbacks that occur. So if you're waiting for exams and you're anxious and you're not sure you've done really well, it doesn't matter because ultimately you're thinking of what you might become. It's not always about what's happening here and now. And it's important to have that long-term outlook on life. And if you have that long-term outlook in life, it can get you over the little dips and the disappointments. And when you get lovely surprises and wonderful exam results, that just makes you realize that goal you want at the end of all of this study is really the thing that motivates you. So think of that quote. Don't let where you are get in the way of what you might become. Don't get fixated on what you've done today because it's part of the journey. The long-term objective is still there out there, which you're working towards. So the second quote that we're going to look at today is a quote from Oprah Winfrey, which I admire Oprah Winfrey a great deal. She's an amazingly successful, generous person, and she has some amazing, powerful, inspirational things to say. So this quote comes from one of her books. You need to be stubborn about the results you're going for, but very flexible on how you get there. So you need to be stubborn about the results you're going for, but very flexible on how you're going to get there. We often start off with a plan from A to B. And sometimes that plan has to adapt and change with whatever life throws out at us. So it may mean going to B via C, D, and F. It may mean going to B through X, Y, Z. Whatever it is that we have to do to adapt. Remember what we talked about in that first quote, thinking about the end objective. It's just part of the process. Think of it as a journey and not simply about getting to that destination. Your journey obviously has to have the destination in mind, but you need to be flexible, says Oprah, flexible on how you get there. God knows what sort of opportunities may come up as you're on your journey from A to B. And if you don't take those opportunities, think of the things that you may miss. So even though we've got head down, we're studying, we're focused, we've got the objective, don't miss out on wonderful opportunities. So if you see an opportunity, if you get an opportunity, someone says, would you like to do X? Would you like to do Y? You think, it's a lot of extra hard work and is it going to do me any good? Hey, it's an opportunity, and who knows what connections and contacts that might lead to, what deviation in the journey. You still get to the destination, but maybe you'll get there stronger, better, faster, with better connections, better links with people, a greater understanding of the destination if you take a slightly deviated route. So I love that quote by Oprah Winfrey. It really, really does sum up how important it is to be flexible, to not get fixated on just being one path to get to a journey. And what I think is really interesting is that now, as we see with studying to become a lawyer, whether it's a barrister or a solicitor, there are so many different pathways that you can take in order to go to qualify in the profession. The routes are broadening, the pathways are changing. And I think that's an exciting time for students, because it means that you don't have to follow the same path as everybody else. You can adapt to the opportunities and flexibility that you need. Doesn't matter what other people are doing. So that's a good thing. We're going to keep the end journey in mind. We're going to be flexible. And then my third quote, well, this is a sort of combination of things that I just wrote down because it just seemed to make sense to me. Accept, believe, surrender to your greatness. Now, I'm not suggesting you will go around with a big head thinking how wonderful you are. But sometimes in life, it's about saying, yeah, do you know what? I am good at X. I am good at Y. There's nothing wrong in saying that you're good at something if you genuinely are good at that thing. Recognizing your strength, your skills, and what you're good at is an important task of being able to sell yourself in interviews, to connect with people, because, you give them confidence. Yeah, this person is very knowledgeable in this area. I like this person because they've got excellent communication skills. Yes, this person came to an interview and they said they did X, Y, and Z. Oh, look, we've looked them up. They do exactly what they say they do. Sometimes we think that what we do when our skills aren't really important. I say this particularly to people who have had a non-traditional route into law, maybe people who have had a previous career before they go into law, people that may have had time to raise a family. All of the skills that you learn in different jobs, in different environments, maybe in different countries, that all brings something to your skill set. And you've got to own it, embrace it, and acknowledge it. So accept, believe, and surrender to your greatness is one of the quotes that I sometimes like to just have to think about. Remember how good you are at certain things and don't be afraid to say it. So 3 quotes. And I think as you sort of think about how you're going to go on in the summer and how the year's been, I want you to think about those 3 quotes and see if you feel any connection with them. Don't let where you are get in the way of what you may become. And no, Oprah Winfrey, you need to be stubborn about the results you're going for, but very flexible in how you get there. And the final quote, accept, believe, surrender to your greatness. Okay, we have questions. So I've got a question from Shahil, who says, hi, Suzanne. Hi, Shahil. Shahil wants to know, he's waiting for some exam results. He says it sucks waiting. What do you recommend? Look, you can't control what's going to happen now, Shahil. You've done the exam. The assessors are marking your paper. What will be, will be. I say, have a break, have a holiday. Don't think about your exam results because there's nothing you can do. Maybe the night before it's time to think about your exam results. But hey, you've worked hard. You've had your exams. You can't change anything now. Relax, enjoy, have holiday. Okay. Okay, so we have an anonymous email that's been sent in to us. And it says, what do you tell your parents if you have to do resits? Anon, okay, you're not happy with the results you've got. You have to retake a paper, an option, tell them the truth. The truth is a powerful thing. Explain. I failed an exam. That doesn't mean the world has stopped turning. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You failed an exam. Tell them what you've done. If you know why, tell them why. Well, I really worked hard, but I just didn't get my exam technique right. I just answered some questions badly. Then tell them what you're going to do to put it right. I've looked at the feedback. I know where I went wrong. I'm going to make sure that I do my resits and pass this exam next time. Tell them the truth. Tell them why it happened, and tell them what you're going to do to fix it. And you will find your parents will be extremely understanding. Okay, Anon, I hope that works for you. Shirley has emailed in. How do you stay motivated for the summer, or do you take a break? Okay, so Shirley's in the same position as Shahil. She's obviously finished her exams and she's wondering whether she should start doing some prep for next term, or does she need to take a break? Shirley, if you've just finished exams, I do say you need to take a break. You need to really have some time to rebuild the energy tanks, recharge the batteries. And I think it's up to you how long you have off. Some people want to take some time just before they go back to their course, maybe in September, October, to do some pre-course reading, make sure they're ahead of their preparation. But, that's probably late August, maybe September. At the moment, relax, enjoy, chill out, and, take a break and recharge your batteries. Another question we have. This one is from Roy. Roy says, how do you cope with your friends doing badly in an exam and you doing well? How do you deal with that? Okay, so this is sometimes happens. You've done really well. You've good friends. Your study buddy has not done well, may even have failed the option. Friends are there to listen. So just deal with it. Don't avoid the elephant in the room. You've passed, they've failed. Be happy because you've passed. You should celebrate everything that you do well. But empathize with your friend who's not done well. Listen to what they have to say. They just may be upset and they want to just talk things through. They know you can't solve the problem. Only they can solve it. But they want someone to be there to listen to them and to appreciate what they're going through. And that's what good friends do. In the meantime, though, you've done well. You need to celebrate and embrace that. Every achievement should be celebrated and enjoyed. So just as you're going to be there for your friend because they've done badly, find those friends that have passed and celebrate with those. Maybe the friend who hasn't passed isn't going to want to go out celebrating because they feel they've nothing to celebrate, but you should still celebrate. It's really important to, accept, believe, and surrender to your greatness, because you accept what you're good at and you appreciate and you celebrate when you've done things well. Okay, so that's my tiny reflections for June. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do let me know what your comments are. And if you'd like to appear on Wednesday webinar, send me a message on LinkedIn or Facebook and tell me why you think you'd be a fantastic guest on Wednesday webinars. I will see you next week with our special guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic week and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.